Fáilte Abhaile, my friends, welcome back to Our Legends. In today's video, we're going to look at tales of ancient Irish skyships. But before we begin, if you could hit the subscribe button, give us a like and leave a comment down below telling us what part of the world you were from. We would love to hear it. So without any further delay, let's dive into some legends. On the evening of the 2nd of March 1678, a group of gentlemen and others were walking home across some fields in the townland of Poynstown, County Tipperary. As the sun slowly set behind a distant hill, they were astonished to see the apparition of a ship sailing towards them across the sky. It came so close that they could distinctly see the masts, the sails, ropes and tackle, and the men on its deck. The ship seemed to change course, sailing northwards upon a dark, smooth sea, then slowly sank, stern first. As she sank, they clearly saw her men climbing up the ropes in the forepart of the ship to save themselves from drowning. When the ship disappeared, the party all sat down on the green bank at the edge of the field and talked about the fantastic vision they had just witnessed. Suddenly, a flash appeared in the sky, and they concluded that it was some kind of shot had just been fired. Two ships then appeared, exactly like the first they had seen. The ships towards the south seemed to chase the other northwards, apparently in battle, till it sank, again, stern first. The other ship sailed on a short distance, and then it too sank, bow first. Men were again plainly seen, this time running up the decks of both ships and distinctly climbing quickly up to the very top of the bowsprit of the first ship as it was sinking. These visions had lasted nearly an hour and were clearly observable, the evening being dead calm with no cloud or mist nor any wind stirring. As the ship sank, they did not slowly disappear as clouds do, but remained very visible until it disappeared beneath the apparent sea. Afterwards, an account of the entire evening was given by two of the spectators, Christopher Hilson and Richard Foster. It was signed and sworn to be the truth by all 16 eyewitnesses and later published in both Dublin and London. Our second tale occurs in Colnmacnoise in County Offaly. It comes from Patrick Western Joyce in his 1911 book, The Wonders of Ireland. On a certain day when Colnmacnoise, King of Ireland, was at a fair taught him, with a great assembly of men of Erin around him, he looked upwards and saw a floating ship about in the air, high over his head. While the king and his people were gazing at this strange sight, and following it with their eyes in silent wonder, they saw one of the crew come forth and cast a dart at a salmon. The salmon also appeared to be suspended in the air near the ship. He missed his mark, and the dart fell to the ground in the presence of all. So the man walked out over the side of the ship, and floating gently down towards the spot where his spear was lying, he stretched forth his hand to pick it up. The people were so bent on watching the ship and the man that they neither spoke and they didn't stir till the stranger was near the ground. Then one of the king's attendants, who was bolder than the rest, ran forward as the man was about to ascend with the spear, catching him by the head, held him down. The voyager struggled to get free, shouting at the same time in hearing of all, "I am drowning, I am drowning." The king, on hearing this, came forward and commanded the man to let the stranger go. As soon as he was set free, he floated upwards, much in the same way as he had come down, moving his hands and feet gently all of the time, just like a person swimming. And when he had got on the ship, went in over the side, the people saw no more of him. The ship itself moved slowly away, and they soon lost sight of it among the clouds. The Norse king Skugga's account differs somewhat. Here it is related that on a Sunday, while the people were at Mass in Colnmacnoise, there dropped from the air, hanging from a rope, an anchor, the fluke of which caught in the arch of the church door. The astonished people looked upwards along the rope and saw a ship floating on top. One of the crew leaped overboard, dived and swam down to loosen the anchor. Then some of the congregation seized him and held him while he struggled to set himself free. The bishop, who just happened to be present, directed them to let him go, for, as he said, if held down he would die, as if held underwater. They let him go and up he floated. When the crew cut the rope at the top, the ship sailed away out of sight. The old Norseman gravely adds, of course, as he heard the story, the anchor has since lain at Colnmacnoise church as witness that the event really occurred. There is also a famous poem recounting this event, The Lightnings Part 8 by Seamus Heaney, and I'm going to read it for you now. The annals say, when the monks of Colnmacnoise were all at prayers inside the oratory, a ship appeared above them in the air. The anchor dragged along behind so deep, it hooked itself into the altar rails, and then, as the big hull rocked to a standstill, a crewman shinned and grappled down the rope and struggled to release it, but in vain. The man can't bear our life here and will drown, the abbot said, unless we help him. So they did. The freed ship sailed, and the man climbed back, out of the marvellous, as he had known it. So there we have it, guys. The tales about the ancient Irish skyships. What did these people see? I mean, they clearly seen something. Was it to do with religion? Was it simply hallucinations? I can't help but wonder that if we seen ships in the sky today, in this day and age, we would most likely account them to UFOs. But who knows? Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Jay from Our Legends. Good night and good luck.